doing, man? EJ Boxer Live.
Hey, what's happening?
Yeah, here with the gang, man. Hey, you guys say something to Mr. Bashir. I think he can hear you.
Wait a minute.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Oh, he can hear you. Good. We're good now. We're good. There you go. You can ask Mr. Bashir a question.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Brother, what I want to ask, it's Hakeem from last time. What I wanted to ask you was, we just asked Eddie Chambers about the big weight disparities in the heavyweight division, and I want to know from your opinion, should there be a super heavyweight division given that the size now of these bigger fighters has grown exponentially in the past 15 years?
Well, I'm not an advocate for or against, because they've circumvented every other division. So why not the heavyweight division? You know, I just don't see a guy 6'2", 225 fighting a guy that's 6'10", 6'9", 6'8". That's 265. I just don't. I don't see it like that. It's just too much of a physical disadvantage.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a hard mountain to climb.
So you just commented on the post about Joshua and Brazil. Give us your take on that fight.
I just don't think that Brazil has been educated properly, judging from his last 2-3 fights that I've seen. Joshua has been more in a better atmosphere for his development. And I think that Brazil has not. I mean, he's changed trainers 2-3 fights ago. He didn't look that good in the last fight with Mansour. You know, so I think not. I don't think that he's ready yet. I think that he'll be knocked out. He'll be another pick.
All right, cool. Anyone got a question for Mr. Bashir?
What would you do if you were Eddie Chambers? What is the game plan you think he should execute to make sure that he's going to be at the best opportunity to win against a longer and taller fighter? And forgot the guy's name he's fighting. Darn, I forgot his name.
Well, I think that Eddie Chambers. In fact, I'm here in camp with Eddie Chambers' brother Steve. I'm training him for his upcoming fight. I'm living in the camp right now with Eddie's brother. And I think Eddie is, I don't know, he's just in a complex situation. It seems that he always lands in complex situations. He needs to win those first 4 rounds of this fight to even think about winning the fight. Because we all saw what happened with Marcus Brown over the weekend. He lost the fight. Marcus Brown lost the fight. Good decision.
Brother Bashir.
Yeah.
To capitalize on that point you made, we don't even have to talk about Marcus Brown. He did lose that fight, but Gerald Washington could be said that he lost to Amir Mansour, and he got that decision, and he's fighting Eddie Chambers.
Yeah, I mean, look, well, lost, what's the kid's name? The welterweight kid, Sean Porter.
Yeah.
And he gets a title shot. Him and the guy he fought, both of them were coming off losses and get a title shot. So make some sense of that. It doesn't. Well, you know, until the fans step up to the plate and say, "Listen, enough is enough. We're going to stop watching. We'll walk away from the sport." The fans are the bosses. They are the ones that got to make this thing change. I read somewhere where they said the video replay won't make much of a difference in the sport of boxing. Well, why not? What's the sense of having technology and we're not going to utilize the technology? How can we have technology and not utilize that technology that we have? How can we have it? It doesn't make sense. 2 guys that lost their last fight for the world title. It doesn't make sense. Marcus Brown lost the fight. The guy slipped down. The referee called it a knockdown. Then Marcus Brown hits the guy guy while he's down, doesn't lose a point, doesn't get reprimanded. So make some sense of it. I mean, it's the egomaniacs and yuppies that's ruining the sport. And it's up to the fans to say, look, we're not going to watch it. Y'all going to keep doing nonsense like you're doing. You know? Jesse Hall.
Go ahead, Mr. Bashir. Mr. Bashir? He dropped off? I think he's still there.
Very good call so far, though. Very good call.
Yeah, I got a question if he comes back.
You got what's your question? He can hear you as well. He can hear you. I'll call him back in a sec. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because keep this going, man. Y'all get.
Because I agree. I do agree with that instant replay. Because I was just mentioning that, and somebody else mentioned. I think it was Mr. Boxing Today. Because in that Cunningham fight, Glowacki clearly threw his elbow. And then the color commentators, they play it back, and they're like, yeah, he threw a punch. It's like, nah, man, look on the instant replay. That wasn't no legal knockdown, man. The dude threw an elbow right in this dude's jaw. Just knock him down.
Go ahead, Mr. Bashir. Mr. Bashir? Hello? I guess he dropped off. He was just there a minute ago while you were saying, so I was just like,
hey, give him 5 minutes. He may be in a bad cover journey. He may move out of it.
Yeah, you know how Mr. Bashir is. You know he did. You know how he is.
But yeah, talk about the instant replay. I definitely want to build on that, like PNC was referring to with the issues of knockdown being miscounted against, and I mean generally in most fights we have. I mean I haven't lately seen where that's actually affected the outcome of a fight, but given the fact that it definitely plays a role in other things, it's just plain ridiculous. It's 2016, almost 2017. I mean, year goes by fast, right? We should have something implemented so that we bring technology into the sport. Things have changed. These fighters need to be checked up on more. I mean, there's a lot of issues with boxing where people treat boxing as if it's the 1900s. It's ridiculous.
Hey, yeah, Mr. Bashir, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot of improprieties in boxing. I've been out there for 46 years, and I've seen the sport change drastically. I just read an old article. We have Don Turner, an elder statesman, one of the last of the old gunslingers, where he says that boxing is so screwed up that people who don't have the knowledge about the sport has more say-so in the sport than the trainers. He says in the article, he goes on to say that the trainer used to be the leader. The trainer used to be the boss of the training camp. He said, but not no more, because you have friends, you have relatives, fathers, mothers, and other outsiders who have more influence and more impact on the fighters' thinking than the trainers themselves. And he's right. Boxing is in a sad situation. You know, all these years I've been around the sport, I've never seen it in a more worse situation than it is now. Jesse Hart fought the last fight. They said that was a close fight, that perhaps he might have lost the decision. I never saw the fight, but they said that he was in a tough fight, and that he might have lost this decision, but he got the decision. So if these are the kind of things that has to be stopped in order to give boxing credibility. Eddie Chambers has to win the first 4 rounds to even win the fight. Sad to say, but it seems like he's coming in on the B side of the fight. And if he doesn't win those first 4 rounds, he could find himself with a loss on his record.
Okay. PNC? Right, you have a question for Mr. Bashir.
Oh, yes. How you doing, Mr. Bashir?
I'm doing fine.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I just wanted to ask this question. The WBO ordered, Usyk to fight Glowacki. I was wondering, do you have any, opinion on that? I mean, considering you're like the head trainer, and how's everything going? Is Usyk, healing up pretty well? Because I believe he sprained his ankle or something.
Just to say, we turned down the fight that we were supposed to fight in doing a little therapy just to it's not a bad injury, but just to be on the safe side to make sure that he's 100% going into the Glowacki.
Mr. Bashir? Yes, he dropped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Somebody was trying to call through the line. Yeah, just to be on the safe side, we turned down the fight that was going to happen on the 23rd to be on the safe side, to be sure that we was 100% going into the Glowacki fight. So, yeah, we're on schedule. We haven't got a date yet or a venue, but I know that we're going to be scheduled to fight sometime late July, mid-August, I suspect.
Yeah, I just want to give a comment on that. I believe, based on Glowacki's last performance, that even after the fight, he looked worried. It just looked like it looked like he was on like death row. It was only a matter of time before he actually loses the WBO belt, based on his last performance. I was just wondering, just based on that, does Usyk have any added confidence based on that last performance with Cunningham? Because he kind of struggled with a 39-year-old man who pretty much only got knocked down because, for one, he's an orthodox guy, and then not only that, he was coming forward, so he left himself open. Glowacki just sat back, and he looked tired, going into the 12th. I really believe as if Cunningham was 10 years younger, even maybe 9 years younger, that he would have got him out of there. I was like, what's your thoughts on,
Well, first off, styles make fights.
Right.
As always will. I'll never base my assessments on one fight. They say you're only good as your last fight, but somehow I don't read into that kind of philosophy. I don't read into that. I don't read into how he looked versus Cunningham or how he looked versus Marco Huck. I get more stock out of looking at his fights before Marco Huck than I do look at the current fights. Because the fights gets harder as you go, but all habits are hard to break. And if a trainer doesn't go in and try to correct those old habits, then they don't get corrected. They get worse as time goes. Having said that, I think that we're going to be in a tough fight with Glowacki, but me being the person that I am, I'm going to find a way for us to beat him. We're going to try to beat him. Beat him at his own game. And we'll be prepared mentally, spiritually, physically. That's my thing, to be mentally, spiritually, physically, and put them all together to go into the fight. It's going to be a good boxing match, I suspect. And I'm not basing anything that he did with Cunningham or with Marco Huck. Naturally, I look at some things that he did or didn't do, or some things that he couldn't do and should have done. Naturally, I'm going to look at those things, but I'm not going to base my fight plan on what he did or didn't do in those fights.
Right.
Brother Bashir, I'll take credit for even introducing some of these guys to Glowacki during the Huck fight. I did a lot of research on him. And I can't seem to do a lot of research on Usyk, but I do see a lot of highlights. I see a lot of beautiful things in the ring. And I'll tell you, I picked Glowacki over Huck, and I'll tell you right now, I am picking you guys to end Glowacki. I am picking you to literally end Glowacki. I don't know what that does for you, but I'm just telling you, your guy ends Glowacki. And I like Glowacki, but it's over with quick.
I think that young Usyk, I think he's a talent. I think that he's going to be an outstanding fighter. This is what I anticipate. I never put the cart before the horse, but he's a disciplined guy. He's one of the most, if not the most, disciplined boxers that I've ever worked with. He's very respectful to me. He does everything I ask him to do in the ring and out of the ring. And with that goes a long way in the sport of boxing. I look forward to the fight with Glowacki, I saw so many things in these fights leading up to now to the fight that we're going to have now. But there's a lot of things that nobody is capitalizing on. Nobody is really paying attention to, that I am paying attention to, because this is the guy who has the belt. So I'm paying attention to everything that I need to pay attention to. A lot of people don't pay attention to the little things, but I'm paying attention to the little things, the things that's going to make us and break us in this fight. So yeah, I look forward to it. I want the fight. I want the fight to happen as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. You know, if he didn't get injured or anything, let's go.
All right. Cool. Any more questions for Mr. Bashir?
Yeah, I just wanted to say one more thing. What I did notice is that they're both going to be southpaws, so the southpaw advantage is going to be out of there. But it looked like Glowacki.
Yeah, it's the southpaw advantage. The only southpaw advantage is whether the guy's orthodox or southpaw. It's when you have the distance. When there's between them, there is no southpaw advantage.
So you don't think that because the southpaw sees orthodox so many more times that's not an advantage for them? Like I always like to go back to the first 4 to 5 rounds of Zab versus Floyd. I felt like Zab could go 100% because he already knew the angles was.
No, check this out. Let me finish my point. What I noticed that Glowacki likes to do, what he really likes to do, him being a southpaw, is that he likes to have the orthodox fighter lean so he can counter. You know, so he does that pull counter a lot. You know, so that's why I noticed that he does that pull counter. He looks like he relies on that, and he looks for guys to come in, the guys who are orthodox, so they can, because they're trying to land that right hand, and as soon as they miss or something like that, he's constantly countering. That's exactly what he was doing to Cunningham. That's what he kept catching Cunningham. And so that's what I saw. When I see with Usyk, it doesn't look like Usyk. I seen him fight once, and it doesn't seem like he leans or lunges or anything like that. It looks like he maintains distance and stuff like that, but you never see him like leaning forward or reaching at any time. So that's all I wanted to say. Thanks.
Okay. My whole thing with Usyk is, when we began to work together, I explained to him, I sat down and explained to him that you're already a puncher. You don't have to do nothing to prove to other people that you can punch. You can punch with both hands, not just one hand. Glowacki, for the most part, is a one-handed puncher, the left hand. But Usyk is a two-handed puncher. He has great balance and great boxing skills. My thing with Usyk and any other fight I work with is boxing. Boxing, boxing, boxing. And if you learn the sport of boxing, if you learn the language of boxing, the technique of boxing, you get knockouts. But knockouts is not what made the story. The story, the name of the sport is boxing. Boxing 101. If you box correctly, then you'll get the knockouts. And the knockout can come a lot of ways. It can come from frustration. It can come from cuts. You understand? It comes from inability. So it's a lot of things. Most of the people in boxing don't look at boxing for what it is. They try to make it some kind of a glory, glamorizing stuff, and not know the technique of it. So yeah, I'm teaching young Usyk to box. And off that boxing skill, you'll get the knockouts, you know?
That makes
sense. I'm looking forward to master skills.
That makes sense.
Application. Knowing something is one thing. To know something is one thing. But to have the application to apply what you know is a totally different entity. Most people out there that call themselves trainers don't know application. They don't know application. Boxing is one thing, applying the boxing is another thing. To teach is one thing, to apply the teaching is a whole different thing. There's two different entities that makes a boxer good or bad.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to say to Scorsese. We're trying to tell Scorsese that earlier on. He thinks he's got a shot of beating Roy Jones in 5 years' time. I'm trying to tell him, in his mind he might think it, but application, like you said, applying it is a different thing.
Roy Jones is an old, wise fighter now, but he's old. Nonetheless, that's not going to change. That's not going to change. Wait a minute, I got a call here from Madam Nicholas. I'm going to call you guys back.
All right, cool. We good. All right, cool.
I got a call in line from that.
All right, cool. You heard it there, man. Go cool. We go cool with Vladimir Klitschko. Hakeem, where's Scorsese? Scorsese? No, Scorsese.
I'm still here. I just jumped on. I got in the house. I had to get off the phone real quick.
Scorsese must have jumped out, bro. Where's Scorsese at? Yeah, bro, he's getting conversation with the champ. But I was just gonna ask him that. I was just gonna ask him about how's training going with the champ. Just gonna ask him that. Just gonna ask him that question because I need to know what's going on there. Good questions though, you guys. Good question though, man. You know what I'm saying? Hakeem, you want to say something?
Say it again?
No, okay, I thought you were going to say something. PMC, you were going to say something?
Oh, yeah, man. I was going to say thanks, man. I'm about to head on out, though.
Oh, you gone, yeah? All right, no problem, PMC.
Yeah, thanks very much, man.
No problem, man. Anytime, man.
All right, catch you later. All right, bye, Hakeem.
All right, brother.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Well, there was 10 in the room. Just me and Hakeem left over. We're down to like 2 people watching. There's some people in the chat. What we got here? Well, I think people talking about Uchiyama fight, talking about the thing like that was a good interview with Pandem, by the way. I guess we're about to wrap up then, man. I don't know.
I mean, is there any questions in the chat they want to ask us while they have us on here real quick, since it's just me and you? Or
I think they're more like, the thing is with the chat, the chat is just the vent of what we're saying, but I don't know what we got here. Fury, UB, Cassius is away, not special. More or less the same people. Now Naruto's in the chat that's mixing up as well.
oh, Nato was in the chat mixing it up. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I was in there chopping it up, man. I was in there just stirring up in there, causing trouble. Like. I'm glad he was there though, but we got an interview with Mr. Bashir and Eddie Chambers. Eddie Chambers already landed over there, past California. So hopefully, that was a good question by Scorsese, man. The fight is not going to be televised. That's a damn shame, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty whack. That it's like given it's Eddie Chambers, he deserves no respect to have his fight be televised. Which I thought it was. I just figured it was. I mean, it's crazy that it isn't. I would just assume it was going to be televised. So the crazy part is that you think it would be, given the fact that Gerald Washington's an upcoming fighter. You think that even that alone, given an Eddie Chambers' status and well-knownness, at least given his resume, having been in pay-per-views, I think his pay-per-view, his fight was a pay-per-view fight, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just crazy to me that he's not getting any notoriety. Even if you thought the last fight wasn't good, I mean, a name carries some type of recognition. Apparently, people, quantity over quality, I guess.
Hey, Mr. Bashir's calling back. There we go.
All right.
Mr. Bashir? Mr. Bashir? Mr. Bashir? Yeah.
Yeah, I got 15 minutes before the ball's called back.
Yeah, well, that's the question I was just going to ask you. How's training going? How's Vladimir looking?
Well, he's preparing physically. He's getting himself physically ready. We haven't started sparring yet, but he's getting himself physically ready. We're going to the training camp.
Mm-hmm.
25th of May.
You need to let me know the itinerary if you're going to be coming to London to promote it. I mean, in Manchester.
I will.
Because
when I get to training camp, then I'll find out all the particulars. But usually, I don't know where it's going to be scheduled. I might come into England early.
Yeah, because when you're in England, you're going to be where you going to be based, in London or Manchester?
I don't know anything. I don't have nothing yet. I don't know nothing yet.
Okay.
But I'm thinking that how far is Manchester from London?
It's quite a bit, but I think.
No, we'll be in Manchester.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I was thinking they might do a promotional thing in London and then go to Manchester because.
No, I think the promotional tour will happen long before the training camp starts.
Yeah, and then the promotional tour you'll be coming to London. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe.
Yeah.
Because you came to London last time.
But that'll happen long before the training camp starts.
Yeah. That's why, and then that's why probably me and Beats will probably catch up with you at the press conference or something.
Oh, I'll let you know. Prior to it, before I get there, I'm going to call you guys and let you know where I'll be. Yeah,
because we'll finally catch up with you and that. But yeah, so he's looking really good. He's rededicated himself and everything looking good. So boy,
it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight.
Is he gonna? Do you feel he's gonna fight better than what he did last time? Definitely.
I know he's going to fight better. I know as close to knowing as I know. But that makes sense to you.
No.
Nobody, only God knows what's going to happen.
What does he need to do? What does he need to do this time that he didn't do last time? What do you, in your mind, what do you think he needs to do?
If I told you what I thought he needed to do, which I'll take to him, which I've taken to him, and which I will continue to take to him, then everybody would know. So I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, I had a question. I have a question, brother. What is it that Fury did that I felt like when I was watching the fight, because I was going for Klitschko, still going for Klitschko in the rematch, is what I'm wondering is it felt like to me he wasn't letting his hands go. And maybe because you have a lot more knowledge than I do looking at the fight, you can tell because you're the trainer and, you know, I don't know as much boxing as you do. What is it that Fury was able to do that made him become gun shy, it felt like?
God only knows, only two entities that know was God and Klitschko what made him fight like that. So we can sit back and speculate on what he could and should have done. But to me, it wasn't what Fury did. It was what Vladimir Klitschko didn't do that won the fight Fury. But I know that the fight is going to change drastically, the dynamics, because Fury's got the belt and he's feeling it. This guy's going to fight. I'm expecting a tough fight. I expected a tougher fight than what it was the first time. But I think that Fury has had a chance to sit back and review the videotape, and now he's saying to himself, I could have did this, I could have did that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. So yeah, the second fight is going to be a tougher fight for both guys. Both guys are going to have to dig down to win that fight. Both guys are going to see drastically different opponents in that ring on the rematch.
And I agree.
Huh?
I was say I agree. I was shocked the first time. I just don't see Fury winning a second time for just a host of different reasons. Do you believe that maybe because Vitali, if I'm watching on my screen, Vitali seemed like he was very, very irritated. Has he put a fire into his brother to let him know that whatever happened the first time is not about to go down again? Is he pushing him more so now in this rematch to play more of a family role, let him know that, you know, that's not going down again in front of me?
I don't know. You know, one thing that made me last so long in working with Vladimir Klitschko over the years was for me to mind my business. I live by that rule, you know. You see what happened to Kevin Rooney with Mike Tyson?
Yeah, he got out of there.
If he kept his mouth shut, he might have stayed with Tyson the whole time. But he couldn't keep his mouth shut. So my thing is in life, not just in boxing, but in life, is to mind my business. You know, mind my business. You know, if it's not my business, if it's not going to affect me, you know, I'm not going to get involved with it. So I just tell Vladimir what I want him to know. I relate to him what I need to relate to him. He can does what he wants to do, but I'll still say something. I'll always voice my opinion. I always have, and I always will. You know, and I tell him what he needs to do. We had a conversation recently, and I said some things to him. I don't think that he really liked them or the way I was expressing it to him, but I did it nonetheless, like I always have. And he's giving me that room to do that. You know, I mean, he's like a son to me. You know, and I tell him what he needs to do. You know, not saying that nobody else, but I am the experienced guy. I'm the most experienced guy in the camp. There's nobody in that camp that's more experienced than me. Nowhere near as experienced as me. So yes, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to say, this is what you need to do. This is what you must do. This is what you have to do. Because Tyson Fury is going to review those tapes the same way we're reviewing them, and he's going to make some changes. And he's going to see to himself that he can do better. And Vladimir has to see the same venue that I can do better. So yeah, I expect a really tough fight. I don't expect the fight to go the distance. I think that somebody will be knocked out in this fight. I don't see this fight going the distance.
Well,
I don't see the fight going the distance. I see one of these guys are going to get knocked out.
Okay, well, that's how you see it.
Yeah.
So So Gladiators called you like you don't let us in what you guys were talking about, or you know, just let-
time of the day and night. And sometimes it's just a spiritual call, you know. What are you doing? How are you doing? Yeah, I'm getting ready. It's just a social conversation.
Okay.
I don't know what this call. I don't know what this call is about. I get the feeling that it's something else, you know. But you know, I'm just appreciative that he looks up to me in that manner, that he respects me like that. That he'll call me to talk to me.
Yeah. Well, look, man, like you, man, like, I learned so much from you, bro. I learned so much from you. The little knowledge you gave me is the stuff that just blew my mind. First off, Eddie Mohammed Mustafa,
Yeah.
how to beat the southpaw. Oh my god, love it, bro. That was the best way I see someone dissecting a southpaw. Absolutely outstanding. I was just like, my mouth was just whoa.
The general thinking is that the right hand lead is going to be the southpaw.
Yeah.
Mustafa Muhammad, I can show you better than I can tell you.
Yeah.
Eddie Mustafa Muhammad won that fight in the old-fashioned rules of fighting southpaws. You saw what he did.
He beat the body up, man, with them hooks, man.
Yes.
And the right hand, and then he dropped me.
The whole adage. I had my first amateur fights in 1959. Boxing was a whole different world then.
Mm.
And the old adage was you beat the southpaw with the left hook and then apply the right hand.
Okay, yeah.
All right? And he broke the guy down.
Broke the guy down, man. He broke him down in such a way I was like, whoa. And the guy's a hard-hitting guy. Can punch.
Yes.
Can punch is real good. And he broke him up, man. Took him. It was wicked. And you know, when I was looking at that, I was like, how's that guy not in the Hall of Fame? How is that guy right there with his IQ not in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I think that the Hall of Fame, I think that is racially biased. There's some things wrong with the Hall of Fame. You know, like if you don't have Eddie Mustafa in there and Iran Barkley in there, you don't have Donald Curry in there, you don't have Herbert Muhammad in there. Herbert Muhammad, man, is possibly the greatest heavyweight of all time in Muhammad Ali. How could he not be in the Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
I'm just asking the question, how could he not be there? He hasn't even been mentioned. So there's some racial bias in the Hall of Fame, whoever's doing these things. And if he is, and why would it take so long? Herbert Muhammad is dead now. Why would it take so long if there is any intention to induct?
But this is the thing, yeah. It's different platform, different days. There, no one's talking out. The fact that you're mentioning them now, they'll get back to whoever needs to get back to. You know, like have a big audience. You know, a lot of people are listening to you, so they'll get back to where it needs to go to. The fact you're speaking on it and the little knowledge you're giving, like how to break down a southpaw. You know, Herbert Muhammad, you know, people are listening, so it'll get back to where it needs to get to eventually. Someone will make, you know.
Everybody has their spin on what to do with southpaw. That's why I referred you to watch this tape, because I think this is a unique way to break a southpaw down.
I think so as well.
It opens the guy up for right hand. If you got to defend against the left hook to the body, then it opens you up for the right hand.
Yeah.
Because that left hook was cracking. It was cracking. It was crippling. Did you see the knockdown?
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, he couldn't believe where no one's ever did that to him. You could see by his face. He had no clue. The corner had no clue. He had no clue, and it was just happening timely. Even when he was pressurizing, he was still whipping that left hook into the body, man. Whipping it in.
But people always say when an orthodox boxer is facing the southpaw, use the right hand lead. Again, with the same guy, Marvin Johnson, the guy's name was.
Yeah.
Marvin Johnson was a beast. He was a beast. He was a 3-time light heavyweight champion of the world.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Oh, gosh.
He won the heavyweight title. He won the light heavyweight title 3 times. Now look, you want to see another left hand? got a guy, Orthodox fighter, and another one, Michael Spinks.
Yeah.
Look at Michael Spinks fight Marvin Johnson. Watch the left hand, not the right hand lead, the left hand.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Michael Spinks fight Marvin Johnson. That's the left hand did the trick again.
I'm gonna watch that again. I'm gonna watch that because I was watching the last one. So how to get me? But Eddie Mustafa Muhammad against.
I have a guy, a writer in the state of New Jersey, tells me that Roy Jones might have been the best light heavyweight of all time. I said, no. Yeah, no. I mean, Roy, don't mistake me. Respect to Roy Jones. But man, Bob Foster, Michael Spinks, Archie Moore, these guys would have hurt Roy Jones.
Edzo Charles, I think Edzo Charles is like heavyweight as well.
Edzo Charles, those guys would have hurt Roy.
Mm-hmm.
And Roy was fast, Roy was this, but he was a lot of things. But I'm telling you something. Those guys had technique that would have gotten to Roy. Roy was great as long as he could use his speed. But when you got past that speed, the way Glenn Johnson did, Glenn Johnson took what he had to do. Glenn Johnson ate what he had to eat, and he kept on coming. And as he did, he wore the man down. You know? So, everybody going to have their choice. Everybody going to have their opinion, you know?
That's true. All right, you guys anything to say, Mr. Bashir, before he goes?
What was the brother's name? You said, actually, Hermit Muhammad or Herman Muhammad?
Herbert, Herbert. Herbert.
Oh, Herbert Muhammad. Okay, thank you.
Herbert Muhammad. He was the manager for Muhammad Ali throughout his career, and nobody even mentions him the whole thing. How could you have the most successful heavyweight champion of that time, a guy as famous as Muhammad Ali, and the manager don't give no credit? I don't understand that. I don't understand that. You know, and he was getting record purses at that. So, you know, you gotta look into it. I mean, to me, there's a lot of racism in boxing and something. In boxing, the Hall of Fame too. We the fans, and I'm speaking as a fan. There's something to change that here because there shouldn't be no racism in such a beautiful sport like boxing. You know, there shouldn't be no racism. There shouldn't be no racism in the world, period. Who cares about racism? I don't care about it. Who cares about that?
Okay. I agree with you. Go ahead.
I want to live and let live.
Yeah.
There's always some egotistic person that wants to be racial. You know, so.
Umar, I know you, Mr. Bashir. What question, Mr. Bashir, Umar, real quick. Ben Umar.
I don't know what topic y'all on, so you can go on without me.
All right, cool, Mr. Bashir.
We're the top of the box.
We're just talking boxing, yeah.
You said, is his first name, is it Jabir Hermit Muhammad?
Jabber. Yeah, Jabber. Jabber is the...
I can't even find, he's not even on BoxRec. It only has him as the manager. It didn't say anything about his boxing career at all.
He's not a boxer, he's a manager.
Hey, Mr. Bashir, I got a question for you. How you feel about this Top Rank pushing the Terrence Crawford and post-up fight to pay-per-view? What? Good move?
Hell no.
Why not?
Hell no. Greedy ass Bob Arum. He's greedy ass. Terrence didn't carry no pay-per-view. He didn't carry no pay-per-view. They want to put Postel and Terrence on pay-per-view?
It's sad. I agree with you. It's terribly sad that, you know.
I'm pay 10 cents for that. I'm going to pay 10 cents for it. And the fans should pay 10 cents for that. Don't nobody know Postel. Don't nobody know no Terrence Crawford. That's that greedy ass Bob Arum. It's greedy. It's greedy. That's a Showtime fight.
Well, I didn't know Jabir, he co-founded Top Rank. I didn't even know that. All I think about is Bob Arum every time I hear Top Rank.
He did what?
Like it says Jabir Herbert Muhammad, helped actually co-found or actually co-founded Top Rank with Bob Arum.
Bob Arum built Top Rank centered around his deal with Muhammad and Muhammad Ali. They're the ones that gave him legs to walk. You know?
Wow.
They gave him legs to walk. And Bob Arum's money was generated from Muhammad Ali's relationship. All right?
That would make sense.
It's so sad. It's sad. Muhammad was the man at that time. He was the man at that time. And he was moving Muhammad Ali.
But wasn't there reports that people stole money from Muhammad? Wasn't the reports that Muhammad, he was one of the people who basically took money from Muhammad Ali or something like that? Or what did you hear?
I believe a lot. I don't know. But a lot of people took money from Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, but he don't stop it. He should be in the Hall of Fame. No, I agree. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't know about that relationship.
Okay.
But I'm basing this on his affiliation, and the work that he did with my father, making those mega fights for him. That's all I'm basing on. Whether he stole money or not, I don't know. A lot of people stole money. Don King stole money, but he still went to the Hall of Fame. Bob Arum probably stole some money, still went to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah. All right.
In boxing, unscrupulous people steal money from boxers.
Mm.
But I'm not going to steal any money from any boxer I train, and I'm not going to steal money from people that I don't know because it's not my money. The people that steal money from people in life are unscrupulous people who don't have any conscience. If something that you take and it don't belong to you, it's not yours, you shouldn't do it.
Mm.
I'm a Muslim. I pray 5 times a day. And sometimes I'm so tired from traveling, so tired when I get to my hotel that I try to get some rest. And all the time I'm getting that rest, there's something like a finger that's tapping me on the shoulder and saying, you owe 2 prayers. You got to make the prayers before you sleep. You got to make.
I know that feeling.
Yes. And my conscience says you got to make the prayers. And the deepest part of my sleep, the notification is, get up, you got to do the prayers. You got 2 prayers. Come on, get up. It's like the hand is hitting again. Come on, get up. You got to do the prayers. Come on. And then my conscience won't let me. I said, I got to get up. And I don't care how tired I am. I get up to pray.
MashaAllah.
The thing is that prayer is better than sleep. And if that's one of the values of it, if you're going to make that prayer, despite the fact that you're weary and tired and wore out, but you still make the prayer, that's the benefit, that's the strength. So the same thing can be applied to stealing from your neighbor or hurting somebody,
Mm.
No, I don't do that. And I'm quick to tell about. I keep seeing Freddie Roach keep saying, "Oh, Manny Pacquiao, he can beat Canelo." I'm thinking, how greedy is greedy? I mean, he's just like a little greedy, grubbing. He can beat Canelo. I mean, do you love the fighter? If you love the fighter, the fighter's been loyal to you and been respectful to you, let that man retire. This man came from 105 pounds, all the way up to welterweight. And now this man still wants him to come back and fight Canelo. That to me is greed. That's greed, and you don't care about the fighter. The man said he wanted to retire, you should have found him on time and said, thank you for your service, and I wish you well. But now Freddie Roach, because it's Freddie Roach, he says he can beat Canelo. Or he can fight Earl Spence. Do you care anything about Manny Pacquiao? Then why would you try to put him in a fight with a young bull like Earl Spence? Earl Spence reminds me of a really polished up Pepino Cuevas.
Huh.
He reminds me of a polished Pepino Cuevas.
It's high praise, boy.
Yeah. If you look at the style, go and look at the style of Pepino Cuevas. Look at Pepino Cuevas versus Harold Weston. Look at the styles. Spence is a bull, just like Cuevas. A hard-punching bull, a reckless bull. But he got a little more finesse than Cuevas. Cuevas was just based this whole thing on that when I punch you, I'm going to break your neck. Because at that time, Cuevas was known to break somebody's shoulder blade, cheekbone, eye sockets. He was breaking everything at welterweight. It took Tommy Hearns to mask Cuevas out, and that was the end of Cuevas. But I would have never made that match for Cuevas walking there because those were little guys. Cuevas was 5'6", 5'7" at most. Hearns was 6'2", and that kind of power coming down on them, they couldn't handle that now. But up until then, nobody wanted to mess with him. Ray Leonard never fought Cuevas. Wolf Benitez never fought Cuevas. They steered clear because they steered clear of that. Durant didn't fight Cuevas until he got to 154, post Tommy Hearns. But he never came into him while he was at welterweight because he was dangerous, which leads me to believe, as I always said, timing is everything in sport of boxing. So no, this guy don't love Pacquiao, trying to put Pacquiao in the fight with Earl Spence, trying to put the Pacquiao in the fight with Canelo. I don't think Amir Khan's going to do nothing with Canelo. I don't care. I think he's going to get mashed out in this thing. People say, but Amir Khan got speed. He got speed if you let him have speed. But if you cut that ring and start banging on his body and stuff, he's going to feel something from this. Yeah, I don't think that much. But excuse me, I might not be politically correct because it's Freddie Roach that says that. Now, somebody else says this is a problem, but if Freddie Roach says, well, he's right outside. If you want to get the cigar, you got to check with Freddie Roach at the front desk to get in the cigar. Bullshit.
Oh shit, man. That's funny, man.
That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how boxing is. Certain people can say things and do things, and people say, oh, that's just Lou Duval, or that's just Freddie Roach. But if I say it, it's a big thing. It's a big problem. Well, who the hell is he? What's bashir to say that did? Let's suspend his ass for a year. We'll straighten him out. We'll show him who's boss. That's how boxing works. Some people can do whatever they want to do and get away with it with a slap on the wrist. Other people do something and they're in big trouble. That's how it is. If not, go back and examine the records. Lou Duval was in the ring and fighting with Roger Mayweather and got punched in the face. He's always in something. Holyfield versus James Quick Tillers. Two trainers in the ring having out. Nobody got suspended. Let somebody else do that. Let somebody black or let somebody Latino or any other nationality do that, and they're going to get suspended. They're going to get suspended. They're going to get fined. But no, in them days, you can get away with it because you was Duval. You understand?
Mm.
Yeah. I'm going back.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Anybody else do the shit, you in some big trouble.
Mm.
Then other people do stuff that I don't worry about. We'll sweep it under the rug. Don't worry. Teddy Atlas have done some very bad things in boxing. Very bad things in boxing. Even while he's working at that ESPN, he's done some bad things. And you never hear about it. You sweep it under the rug because it's just Teddy. But if I do it, if you do it, your ass is grass.
Mm.
You understand?
Mm.
I've had people call me and say that I might not want to comment on different things. I might want to say this, I might not want to say that. And I said to them, if Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Dr. King, countless, Frederick Douglass, and countless people, Medgar Evers, and all these people, Rosa Parks, and all these people put their necks on the line to establish justice for people at the risk of losing their lives. And you're going to tell me I can't make a comment about boxing? Are you fucking crazy? I might not make a comment about boxing. These people have said stuff that cost them their lives, and then some of you might not want to say that to make enemies. Well, if I'm going to make enemies, then whoop-de-doo.
Well,
whoop-de-doo. I'm not kissing for nobody. I'm saying what I want to say. And everybody that's listening know that I'm right.
yeah. Well, I agree with you, man. But Mr. Bashir, man, I'm burnt out over it, man. I think this hangout went on for like 3 hours. We had you, Eddie Chambers, and anything you want to say to your fans, because you've got a lot of fans over here in the UK.
Oh, man, I love the fans in the UK. I love the fans around the world, man. Because the only thing that make us big, the people in boxing, the people up top, the people doing the interviews, the only thing that make all of us big is us. We the ones that's going to make us big. Who else going to make us big? Who else can make us big? The fans are the ones that's paying this money. The fans are the ones, they are the bosses. They're the real bosses, not Golden Boy, not Tom Brady. You know, not the Goosens, not this one and that one, Al Haymon. The ones that's making the money, the ones that's controlling the sport of boxing is the fan. The fans are the bosses. So we owe it to them to be legitimate. When we come to the dance, we need to come in shape and we need to come respectfully because these people are taking time out to pay homage to us, pay respect to us. So I love the fans. I respect the fans. Whatever the fans ask of me, then I'm going to try to deliver on it, and I'm going to do so respectfully because without the fans, none of us are nothing. The fans is what make us. None of us are nothing without the fans. And that's what people seem to forget, you know? Here go Adonis Stevenson, he ain't fought nobody. Kovalev will fight what he got to fight. You got a bunch of fights out there that should have been made 2, 3, 4 years ago, and we can't get it. Why? Because he signed with Susu and he signed with this one, and they don't want to do business together. At a certain point, the fighters guy said, look, I want to make the fight. Let's go. Just think if they had a problem making Joe Louis and Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier. Think if they had a problem making Ray Leonard and the Hearns. You know, come on. Let's fight, man. Let's get the fights in before the guys get too old.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, okay, guys. I'll get with you guys later.
Okay.
It's a pleasure. You know, I'll reach out for you guys tomorrow. I'm in camp with Boy Wonder here. Stephen Upshaw Chambers.
Yeah, who's Eddie Chambers' brother? What's his name? Full name?
Stephen.
Steve.
Upshaw, UP.
Chambers, is that Eddie Chambers' brother?
Yes.
Oh, Stephen Upshaw is Eddie Chambers' brother?
Yes.
Shit. I didn't know. I never knew that. That guy's been fighting. Bro, he fought a lot of people, man. He's fought so many fighters, man. Who's he fighting?
Yeah, but see, one thing about Stephen Upshaw Chambers, he's been trying to do everything himself. He can't do that.
Who's he fighting now?
Now, we want to fight the world.
Nah. You in training? Who's he fighting?
Well, we just get the fight to come back with now. We got one fight coming up. The Pennsylvania Commission hasn't okayed so far the people that get brought in. The last guy we get brought in, the guy was 14-3, and then for some reason the commissioner didn't approve it. So we'll fight whoever it is there to fight. You know, we just want to get back into the picture. He's fought Berto. He's fought Thumpane.
Yes, I'm saying Fear Thing. Yeah.
Colasso.
Yep.
Colasso.
Yep.
What these guys? He deserves a shot now. He's not avoiding nobody. He's a good fighter, but now he's called me into the camp to train him.
He was getting trained by Rosalka. Rosalka was training him before.
Yeah. Well, he's got me here. I'm here to train him, and we're gonna get it. We're gonna get him back in the mix. And see, I told you because I don't work with American fighters. I stopped doing that. I just lost my taste to work with him. But this guy, Stevie, and I, we have a history together, so I'll work with him.
Yeah.
I'll put everything that I got in there. He's my guy. All
right, man. Well, good luck with Steven. We'll probably try, when he gets a fight, we'll give him a call and you know, try to talk to him.
I'll reach out for you guys tomorrow night, because you guys always be busy on the line.
Yeah, we do, bro. You know that, man. All right, Mr. Bashir. Good night, man. We'll talk soon, man.
Great talk with you guys.
All right, assalamu alaikum, brother.
Take care, man.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.
Buster Douglas knocked him out. Buster Douglas, the fat funk, the legend of him.
Yo, this is Chris Caban chilling with my man hottest, dopest boxing songs on YouTube. Check them out. Some bucks and some rounds on the EJ Live YouTube channel.
And Bashir was the number 10 rated contender, and he had never been knocked down. And Sonny destroyed his mouth. Bashir lost most of his teeth, basically with 1 or 2 left hooks.
Oh shit, boy! What was look at kids sleeping like Manny Pacquiao? EJ Boxing Live here. EJ Boxing Live here.